Hey guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to be doing my drugstore tutorial for back to school. It's been a while since I've been back to school, and I never used to wear makeup to school. I didn't start wearing makeup till after school. This is my interpretation of what I feel is appropriate for like a 9th grader to like 12th grade to wear. Obviously, if you're in middle school and you like to wear makeup, that is for you. But I think since we are contouring a little bit, we're highlighting, we're applying some eyeshadow, I think that this is more for a 9th grade to 12th grade. So this is a really easy look. There, as you guys see, there's no false lashes, no liquid lip, very light natural skin. It is still a very full coverage look. I just like a full coverage look. I don't wear foundation if I'm not wearing it full coverage. I just think it's pointless. I don't like wearing a BB cream because I have a lot of redness in my skin. So for me, it's kind of pointless. I want to even out my skin tone, but with a BB cream, you can kind of just see your skin tone through it. So that doesn't really help me per se. But if you guys have like pretty even skin, since you guys are probably a lot younger, you guys have a lot more even skin, and a BB cream probably works just fine for you. I just like a full coverage foundation. That's my personal preference, and that's what I'm saying about that. So there are a couple items in this tutorial that are not drugstore, and I will kind of just tell you what they are right now. My eyebrows, first of all, I used Benefit products for that. It'll be listed down below if you guys are curious. Another thing I never really found at the drugstore that I liked is concealer, like a really good concealer. But I did use the Naked Skin Ultimate Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. You guys know it's my favorite. I honestly have not found anything I like better. I really am in love with it. Everything else that is on my face is drugstore, and I have to say I am very pleased with how it came out, honestly. I really don't usually wear that much drugstore. And it's not because I'm like too good for drugstore or anything. I just honestly don't ever find anything that I love at the drugstore that I'm like, this is great pigment, this is great blendability, this is great this. Like, I just honestly don't find anything at the drugstore that I absolutely love. So the products that I did gather together, I do like a lot. I think this look came out really nice. I really like how the skin looks. I like that the eyes are pretty open and a little bit more on the awake side, and they're not too dark, and they're not too smoky, and they're not too like heavy, and they're super easy to achieve. So before I keep rambling on, if you guys want to see how to achieve my drugstore back to school makeup look, then just keep on watching. Hey guys, so we're jumping right into this tutorial with the L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible Foundation. I'm using the shades 105 and 102. One is a little bit warm and one is a little bit cool, so I'm mixing them together. I know that it looks a little bit yellow on camera, but I do have a lot of redness, so I do like to go a little bit more on the yellow side with the foundation, because as you see, it will kind of combat the redness. And my skin is extra red right now because I just ran a makeup wipe over my skin, and it kind of is like irritated for a little bit, but it always like goes down within like a half an hour. And also, sorry about my voice. I feel like I'm losing it. I was a party animal last night, so let's just keep rolling with it. I'm using a damp beauty blender because honestly, this is my favorite way to apply this foundation because it is so matte. If you apply it with a brush, I feel like it's very hard to like move around the skin, and then it gets dry and patchy. So I think the moisture from the beauty blender really helps to blend it in and make it look super flawless, but not too dry on the skin. So then we're going to be using Naked Skin Ultimate Weightless Coverage Complete Concealer, and I'm using the shade Medium Light Neutral. And as you guys see, I'm just highlighting like normal. I do have a full highlight and contour routine. If you guys want to know a little more in depth of why I do what I do, that is my highlight contour routine, which will be listed in the description bar. So I'm just taking the concealer and highlighting my face all over, and then I'll be taking the damp beauty blender and just blending that in. I like to take a concealer like 2 shades lighter just because this foundation, first of all, I think is a little bit too dark for me right now. But using this light concealer, it kind of really does help balance it all out. As you guys saw from my intro, it really looked fine. So then I'm going to make sure that I look up when I blend and really just pounce the beauty blender back and forth in different motions because you don't want it to settle in your creases or anything. And you also want to make sure that it meshes with the foundation and it doesn't look like 2 separate products are on your skin. And then we're going to be setting the concealer with the Covergirl translucent powder, and I'll just be taking the beauty blender and setting that. I've been using this tip recently a lot, and honestly, it takes away all powderiness under the eyes. It doesn't look cakey. It looks so smooth and effortless, and I've been loving it recently. Like, I mean, obsessed with it. don't really do this technique to bake as much, but just to set my concealer. Honestly, it has changed my life. And then I'm just taking this e.l.f. complexion brush and I'm going to be setting the rest of my face with a translucent powder. I always have to set my face. If I don't, I wish I was like lucky enough to not ever have to set my face, but if I don't, my foundation will wear off instantly. So then I'm going to be taking this NYX eyeshadow, and I think it's in the shade like caramel or latte or something. All of the products will be listed down below if you guys are curious to what I'm using. But I'm using an M433 or an M441 from Morphe to just apply this in my crease. This is kind of going to be our statement color because we're not going to be going in with too many. This is a back to school look. I just want our eyes to look a little bit fresh, but I do want a little bit of dimension. So that's why we're applying this shade. And then once I have nothing on the brush, I'm blending in circular motions and blending up to my brow bone. That's what kind of gives you that like nice diffused line. And then we're jumping in with this NYX Beauty School Dropout palette, which is so funny because this is literally a back to school tutorial. I need y'all to stay in school. But this was just the name of the palette. And I'm taking that brown shade and using the same brush. We're not going to really dip with too many brushes since we're only going in with a couple colors. And I'm just going to focus this one more on the outer corner just to give a little bit more of that depth. And then we're going to be taking this like, I guess you could say it's like stark white, but it's not like really that white because it really wasn't as pigmented as I had hoped. But then again, it turned out great because I didn't want it to be super white on my lid. I just wanted something to kind of brighten up my inner corner because I really wanted my eyes to look a little bit more on the awake and the fresh side. And then we're just taking this brush and blending out that so we don't have a cut crease. Then we're going to be taking this beautiful Tarte eyelash curler, which I love to do if I'm not going to be wearing any false lashes. I just think that I need my lashes to be as curled as possible before we apply any mascara. And I'm going in with these two. First off is this one from Maybelline, and I'm using this to lengthen my lashes, which I gotta say, I love my lashes. I feel like I was blessed. I don't really even need to wear false lashes, but I think that my lashes are long, not as thick as I would like them to be. So I'm using this mascara to thicken them, and then I will be taking Roller Lash just to make them a little bit on the thicker side. So and then I'm taking Roller Lash and I'm also applying it to my lower lash line. Sorry if I'm like a little scatterbrained today. I feel like I'm like dying. So we are going to be applying the mascara here still. And then I'm going to be applying Roller Lash on the bottom. I really like there's like double-sided to Roller Lash so you can get like really close and personal in that lower lash line. Then we're taking the NYX, not concealer, the NYX Contour Kit, and I have been obsessed with this recently. I feel like this is not too orange, it's not too cool toned. It's so nice and it complements my skin tone so much right now. And I also feel like it's not too harsh. Like you get the color payoff, but it's not like such a stark line where it looks like you got punched in the side of the face. Because I've had some contour kits that are so pigmented that it looks like I got socked in the side of the face. So I've been loving this one recently, and we are just going to be contouring our face like normal. We're really mostly just kind of bronzing up and kind of just contouring in the hollows of our cheeks, but we're not really doing a structured contour. It's kind of a little bit messy. And then we're taking this Ombre blush from NYX, and we're just going to be applying it from the back of our cheekbone and then a little bit on the apple. I wanted to apply like a fresh blush. I really like orangey cream tones. Like I just love them. Like, I'm so obsessed. That's why I'm obsessed with the Sigma blush. I just love those, and they complement my skin so well. And then we're just going to take the Beauty Blender and bake underneath the contour. Just because I'm a little sloppy and I really always like to clean it up. I feel like I can't do a makeup look now without doing this. And I like using a Beauty Blender because the moisture in it like really helps mold the powder into my skin. And then we're just taking the highlighting brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills and the highlight shade from the NYX Contour Kit. My only problem with that, it was a little bit on the like soft side, so it did have a lot of fallout, but I really like it for a drugstore highlight. I think it was really pretty and it made my skin look like I was glowing. So it is a little bit like on like the white silvery side. So with like my skin right now, it looks a little bit intense, but I mean, the more highlight for me, the better. I like to be blinding people. And I love this Anastasia brush for it. Then we're just going to be blending away the bake. I really like to take the brush that I use to contour with because I think that that makes it so much easier so there's not such a harsh line. Just because if there's extra product on the brush, it will just blend it all together with your skin. And then we're taking this NYX Butter Gloss, which is so pretty. It's like a nice like corally orange. And I think that this is perfect. It's really similar to my natural skin or my natural lip color. So it's not going to be too intense, but I didn't want to go in with a liquid lip. Who wants to wear a liquid lip to school? I feel like that's a lot of effort. You have to be worried about touching it up all the time. So I think a gloss is super easy. Once it wears down, you can just apply more and you don't have to worry about it like making your face look like a goddamn mess. So gloss it is for you kids going to school. I mean, unless you want to wear a liquid lip, then go right ahead. And then we're going to be taking Fix Plus and just spraying that all over our skin and really making sure that this foundation molds into our skin and it's not too dry. And I love how the highlight is just gleaming after. All right, guys, this is all I have for the tutorial. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you all in my next one. Mwah.